ABC News correspondent Bill Stewart, 37 years old, was killed today in Nicaragua. I'm going to tell you more about him in a moment. But first, with an on-the-scene account of the situation in Nicaragua and the murder of our correspondent, here is Al Dale in Managua.
Firing rockets to soften up anti-government forces for ground troops, the Nicaraguan National Guard launched a major assault in Managua to retake poor neighborhoods or barrios held by the guerrillas. While in Leon, Nicaragua's second largest city, guerrillas in control of almost the entire town also came under air attack. Late yesterday, Sandinistas hiding behind barricades took potshots at whatever moved and made ineffectual gestures at the enormous firepower from above. Firepower that became all too real to the television crew that was only feet away from a direct hit on a building. The guerrillas showed government soldiers who were captured or surrendered. Gunmen on rooftops stood watch and fired at lone National Guard holdouts, only a handful left. Much of this historic university city has already been destroyed, a process that will not soon end. This morning in Managua, after some of the heaviest fighting of the war, Bill Stewart and an ABC camera crew went into an attacked neighborhood, which was then calm. National Guardsmen were friendly at the first checkpoint. In fact, they were eager to talk and try to disprove reports of low National Guard morale. It was at this point that Bill Stewart saw an opportunity to say something he wanted to say about this Civil War. Here are Bill's final words before the tool of his trade, a news camera.
It is said that in every society it is the young men who fight the old men's wars. And that is especially true here in Nicaragua, for those who are fighting and dying on both sides are very young indeed.
They were allowed to pass, but at the next checkpoint, the attitude among the soldiers was entirely different from what Bill and the crew had just seen. Bill showed he was unarmed and presented his press identification. Still, he was forced to kneel and then lie down on the pavement. Sometime during this, Bill's Nicaraguan interpreter, who had gone ahead of Bill, was shot and killed nearby. We do not know whether Bill knew that, as the soldier kicked him in the side and then shot him.
Late today, the State Department called the deaths of Bill Stewart and his interpreter shocking and tragic events. Secretary Vance has asked for a full report from the U.S. Embassy in Managua and from the government of Nicaragua. And Rune Arledge, president of ABC News, issued a statement saying this deliberate act of murder by a soldier of the Nicaraguan government on an unarmed newsman ordered to his knees at a National Guard roadblock cries out for both full investigation and the penalty of whatever justice is left in that land. Bill Stewart was a West Virginia country boy with degrees from Ohio State and Columbia. He covered the fighting in the Middle East and the turmoil in Iran, where he obtained an exclusive interview with the Ayatollah Khomeini. He carried out many other assignments in this country for ABC News, and before he joined us, he worked as a reporter in Minneapolis and Philadelphia. He was good, and we knew he was good. And it breaks our hearts to admit it now, but that's why we sent him on so many difficult and dangerous assignments. We know of no better way to pay tribute to him and to demonstrate what his loss means to us and to you, and to show again his last report from Nicaragua, seen on this network yesterday morning.
This is the Civil War inside Barrio Santa Rosa. It is a people's war, led by a few who have training, joined in by the people of the barrio or neighborhood, who have behind them decades of hatred of the Somoza family. The guerrillas survive here, behind barricades, with rifles, Molotov cocktails, and conviction, outmanned and outgunned by the National Guard, and fearing most the death which falls from the skies, the bombs against which they have no defense. This time the bombs hit an electric parts manufacturing company. Next time the bombs may come closer. One family of 16 dug a bomb shelter here. They sleep in it every night. They don't know for sure how well it will work. This building was a school in Santa Rosa. Now it is a hospital. The rebels wearing Red Cross jackets are not Red Cross workers. They are guerrilla medics who have adopted a Red Cross as their symbol. This man being cared for has been shot. as has this casualty, who more than any other shows the face of this war. She is 11 years old, and she was wounded in the fighting. Bill Stewart, ABC News, Managua.
That was the report of a gifted journalist and an extraordinarily warm and sensitive human being. He is survived by his wife Myrna and by his mother and father and by his colleagues at ABC News, who will cherish his memory and who know that our profession was honored by his devotion to it. That's our report on World News Tonight. For ABC News, good night.